What if I told you that whatever you wanted to achieve, you could? What if, no matter what anyone else told you, no matter what is seemingly holding you back, you have it in you to push forward and chase your dreams anyways? You probably wouldn't believe me. And that's a problem. You might think that you're not good enough. You might look at some huge task and just tell yourself, I can't do that, without even trying it first. We as humans tend to psych ourselves out and think that we're simply not good enough, causing us to sometimes kill our dreams before they even get a chance to become something meaningful. We grow up constantly seeing people our age already becoming successful. You hear stories about 18, 16, hell, 14-year-olds that are already incredibly successful, whether they're starting an entire business, launching a successful music career, or even blowing up on YouTube. And it really just makes you feel behind, like you already missed your chance before you even got a chance to start. And I think that mindset ruins a lot of people, because once you convince yourself that you're already too late, you stop even trying. You stop believing that your effort can actually lead anywhere. But the truth is, most of us are still incredibly young. Like, in the grand scheme of things, we've got a lot of time to put to use, so much more than we think we do. Honestly, people just underestimate how powerful time really is. If you spend years working on one skill, even slowly, you're naturally going to improve. That's just how practice works. I read this book once. It's called Outliers, written by Malcolm Gladwell. In the book, he comes up with a rule that I still apply to my life today. It's called the 10,000 hour rule. Basically, his thought is that it takes around 10,000 hours of deliberate practice in order to truly excel in a skill. 10,000. That's a lot. And I'm not trying to call you or anyone else out, but my guess is that most people never get even close to that point before giving up. If I had to pick a number, I'd say most people quit around the 20-hour mark, or they never even start at all. And I think a huge reason why that happens is because of comparing yourself with one another. You might compare yourself to people who are already successful and assume that they just got lucky and that you'll never be where they are. But the reality is, you don't see the years of work they put in to get into that position. All you're seeing is the finished product, which took them years upon years of building, which is pushing you to believe that you'll never be as successful as they are. Because you don't know all that. You might be scared. You might have some immense fear that if you're bad at what you do, people will laugh, that people will judge you. But if you watched my last life advice video, you'll understand that they really won't. And the real reason why is because no one just starts a master in their field. When you start something new, you should expect to suck at it because, well, it's something you never tried before. How would you expect yourself to immediately be good at basketball without once practicing your jump shot or even just playing some pickup games with your friends? How would you expect yourself to make it big on YouTube on your first video when you don't understand anything about the algorithm or what even makes a good video in the first place? The real answer is you shouldn't. That early progress may feel embarrassing. It may feel like you're making such minimal amounts of progress that you're too clueless to ever even finish. But you're comparing the very beginning of your process to the middle or even the peak of someone else's. Like, let's take music, for example. People hear someone like Bruno Mars sing and think, wow, he was probably just born talented. And sure, natural talent does exist to some extent, but there's no chance that he got to that level without putting in an insane amount of work behind the scenes. Thousands of hours. Practice on practice on practice. And that is the part that people forget. Like, there's genuinely levels to this shit. Nobody just wakes up amazing at something. Even the best people in the world had to start somewhere. And usually that starting point wasn't very impressive. That's why I think one of the most important things that you can have is faith in yourself. Because if you don't believe your goals are possible, you are never going to put in the work required to reach them. You'll quit the second things get difficult. And trust me, they will get difficult. You're probably not going to become successful overnight. Your very first YouTube video probably won't blow up. Your first song might not be a hit. Your first business idea might completely flop. But dude, that's life. It's so easy to hide these sorts of failures on social media because all you see online are all these success stories. You hear about all these people who made it, who made their dream come true. But what you don't see is the millions of people who didn't. Not the people who eventually succeeded because they once failed. Maybe they tried one career path and realized it wasn't for them. But the skills they learned from that failure helped them succeed in an entirely different field later on. Opportunity isn't wasted unless you completely stop trying. Success is almost never a straight line where everything just works out perfectly the first time. Most of the time, it's going to be pretty messy. You fail. You switch directions. You improve. You embarrass yourself a little. And then, eventually, after enough time and effort, things finally start clicking. But people don't like hearing that because it's not exciting. It's not some instant magical solution. It's consistency. And I'm not going to lie, at least to me, consistency is boring. But that's why discipline matters so much more than motivation. And I know you guys have heard me go on about this before. And if you haven't, you really should. I've talked about discipline and motivation in a previous video. But motivation comes and goes. You feel it at full blast at the very start. You think you can do anything you put your mind to. But once that excitement fades, without discipline, you'll just hit a wall. Discipline is what gets you to practice when you don't feel like it. It's what makes you keep creating even when you average 20 views a video. That is what separates people who eventually succeed from those who don't. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's simply the drive to keep going, to keep creating, to keep moving towards your goal. And I'm not saying that this is some guaranteed way to become famous or rich or anything like that. But I am saying that most people are much more capable than they actually believe they are. They just never give themselves enough time to find out. They give up during the uncomfortable stage, the hump, the time where you're still sorting everything out. But that stage is necessary. You can't skip it. And I think once you truly understand that, failure becomes a lot less scary. No longer does failure mean, I'm not good enough. It says, I'm still learning, but I will succeed. Honestly, man, I'm still figuring all this out myself. Even with this channel, there are videos that I thought would do well that completely flopped. There were times where I would contemplate not even hitting the post button because my voice sounded weird. But if I had let that stop me, I wouldn't be talking to you guys right now. This channel as a whole wouldn't exist. And obviously, that applies to so much more than just YouTube. At some point, you're just going to have to realize that your goals matter so much more than your fear of failing. Because at the end of the day, the only surefire way to fail is to never start at all. So seriously, take action. Chase that dream. Even if you're scared. Even if you're bad at it right now. Because the version of you that eventually succeeds wouldn't be here without the version of you that finally decided to just start.